I am Eve, the first woman, born into a world of beauty and mystery. I'm not sure where to begin, but I guess the beginning is as good a place as any. The Garden of Eden was our home, a paradise beyond imagination. Every day was filled with wonder and new discoveries. Adam and I tended to the garden, naming the animals and exploring the lush landscapes. We spent our days in harmony with nature, learning the secrets of every plant and creature. Adam was my companion, my equal. Together, we shared the wonders of Eden. But there was one tree we were told never to touch, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It stood in the center of the garden, its branches heavy with fruit that seemed to glow with an inner light.
You must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die.
At first, I didn't question it. Why would I? We had everything we could ever want or need. The more I thought about it, the more curious I became. What knowledge could be so dangerous? The fruit looked so tempting, its skin smooth and perfect, unlike anything else in the garden. I couldn't help but wonder, what would happen if I just took one bite?
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? You will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.
The serpent's words awakened a hunger in me, not for food, but for knowledge. I looked at the fruit again. It seemed to pulse with possibility, promising answers to questions I hadn't even thought to ask. But curiosity won out. I plucked the fruit from the branch, its weight unfamiliar in my palm. Taking a deep breath, I brought the fruit to my lips. The scent was intoxicating, unlike anything I'd experienced before. As I took a bite, everything changed. It was as if a veil had been lifted from my eyes. Knowledge flooded my mind of good and evil, of right and wrong, of the vastness of the world beyond our garden. I gave some fruit to Adam, and he ate it too. We scrambled to cover ourselves with leaves, ashamed of our nakedness. The paradise around us seemed to dim, as if the colors were fading before our eyes. The once magical garden transformed into something more ordinary, yet somehow more threatening in its newfound familiarity. When we heard God walking in the garden, we hid, but there was no escaping his presence.
Where are you?
His voice, once a comfort, now filled us with fear. We cowered behind the bushes, trying to conceal ourselves from his presence. When God found us, we tried to shift the blame. Adam pointed to me, I pointed to the serpent. But there was no escaping the truth of what we had done. We had disobeyed the one rule we were given. The consequences of our actions were severe. We were banished from the garden, forced to face a harsh world outside. As we left our paradise, I realized that knowledge comes at a price. The innocence we lost could never be regained. We had to learn to survive, to farm, to build shelter, to protect ourselves from the dangers that lurked in the shadows. And though we could never return to Eden, we carried a piece of it with us, the memory of paradise and the knowledge that had cast us out. Our story became a cautionary tale, passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of choice and the weight of its consequences. But it's also a story of resilience, of humanity's ability to adapt and grow, even in the face of our own mistakes. We've built a new world, different from Eden, but with its own beauty and challenges.